Hey, it's me at Jetski, and wow, they finally did it. They actually did it. I didn't think they would ever do it. They finally showed gameplay. Whoa. I mean, sure, it only took a year after it was first revealed for us to actually see it, but hey, better late than never. First things first, we gotta get this out of the way. It looks beautiful. It is incredible looking. A thing I have noticed though is it does share a lot in common with Sonic Forces, which is a bit unnerving, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. There's a lot going on here. What's even crazier is that we're supposed to be actually getting more footage tomorrow or June 1st, depending on when this comes out. It is so crazy to me how insane this game looks. I have, however, noticed the fact that there is a lot of reused assets from Sonic Forces, specifically the animations and overall character model. Everything else though looks quite original, and the first area of the game looks pretty good too. It honestly looks incredible. It looks up there with the Final Fantasy VII Remake is what it gives me a lot of vibes of. I do think this has the chance to be the best looking Sonic game ever made. I honestly do think it could look a lot better than Unleashed. We just have to see more of it to really figure that out. Something I am a bit worried about though is the gameplay overall, because from what I've seen, it actually seems a lot like the Generations in Unleashed overall control, which Generations in Unleashed overall control is kind of slippery. It's not really the main reason you go back and play those games. So I am worried about him being a little slippery and stuff. I personally would have rather had them do something along the lines of Sonic Lost World in terms of control, but a lot faster than how he does actually play in Sonic Lost World. Another thing that just got confirmed for this game is the boost. He boosts pretty early on in the trailer. However, I don't know if it's like actually a main part of the game or if it's just like a power-up you get on later on. Now, when it comes to story, we don't actually know much about the story, like, at all. There's next to nothing on details about it, except something about Amy being a ghost or something. I'm not really for sure about that. Now, this is actually the first time we get to see the combat, which was actually leaked, like, I think all the way like to last year, but it still was leaked, and it looks interesting. However, I do think a lot of it at least looks kind of automated. They could have done something like a lot different. For instance, there was a canceled Flash game from the early 2010s. It looked pretty interesting, and it had a lot of speed-based combat. I kind of assumed that's kind of in the direction they would be going, but I was kind of surprised that they didn't, so that's kind of interesting. Another thing that has made a comeback from previous games is the rail grinding mechanic, which has been in the games ever since Sonic Adventure 2. It's been around quite a while. There's not really much to say when it comes to that specifically. A thing that has been on my mind a lot though, since the announcement of this game, is how much is it going to feel like Sonic Adventure. I hope it feels a lot like Adventure, because I think if it controls like Adventure, it'll work a lot better than if it controls a lot more like a boost game. No offense to Generations or Unleashed, but those games are not specifically built for like platforming in open spaces, where Adventure is built for a lot more open spaces. However, I think if it played specifically a lot like Adventure, it still wouldn't work. It still need a lot of tweaking. This game is pretty much just gonna have to play like its own thing to actually work. I think that's what has me probably worried the most when it comes to this game, is how much it's going to control like previous games. I think the only way for this game to actually work is if it just does its own thing. I think it needs to like actually, have like standard Sonic stuff and all. I'm not saying like throw everything out the window. I'm just saying it can't control like Adventure specifically or like the boost games specifically. It needs to just be its own thing. It needs to come up with its new gameplay style, and it needs to be radically different for it to actually work. I'm just a little worried about the control overall. It's nothing too big though. Another thing that was noticed during the trailer is the fact that it has a weather kind of system, where sometimes it'll be raining, sometimes it'll be really sunny, sometimes it'll be cloudy, It really differs for every person who plays the game, and I find that like a really cool idea, especially for a Sonic game. A funny thing though is that that was actually supposed to be in Sonic 06, all the way back in 2006. That would have been revolutionary then. I don't think it's as big of a deal now. It's still a cool detail though, and I'm glad they finally went back to that idea. Another cool detail that was noticed is all the platforms in the sky. I guess you'll be doing a lot of platforming throughout the whole game, which is good, you know. I'd expect that from an open world Sonic game. I am curious to see how that works out though, since Sonic hasn't really been very platforming heavy in a while, especially in like 3D. It's mostly 2D platforming as of recent, but I'll be interested to see how that works out. Also, another thing that was noticed, in the background of the trailer, at least the gameplay trailer, a Chaos Emerald was noticed, and in one of the older leaks, the leak says that Sonic will go supersonic in every zone, and then he'll lose the Chaos Emeralds and have to go collect them in the other zones that he goes to. It's pretty cool. I don't know how true it is. I'm pretty sure that leak was pretty much spot on. I'm curious who the Ghost Girl is, because nobody knows yet, and I'd be interested to see that. I think there was something though about that Tails tube thing accidentally leaking the design for her. I'm not for sure though, that could be wrong. Something that we still have not seen yet is the cyberspace levels. We don't know what they look like. We don't even know if they're actually still in the game or not. Since that leak, they might have been taken out. Who really knows? I would be interested in seeing that because it is still kind of a mystery. Nobody really knows what they look like. Everybody has drawn up, a bunch of people have drawn up a lot of mock-ups and stuff of what they think it looks like, but nobody really knows for sure. Another thing that I haven't mentioned yet is they actually changed the logo. I guess the old one was just a placeholder, and I'm not gonna lie, that old one looked kind of bland and uninteresting. I am glad they changed it. The word Sonic just is like bland white text, but the below Frontiers is actually pretty cool and has a neat little cyberspace kind of look to it. There's not really much else to talk about when it comes to that. That's pretty much all I got to say for today. It was Amiya Jetski, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.